Well, that was quick. Good evening. You're just tuning in. I have to put my glasses on for this. Welcome to Beneath the Hollow Moon, where folklore burns slow and the strange never fades. I am your host, Lorilei Potvin, and this is my amazing good friend and co-host, Kerrilynn Shellhorn. And you are listening to us live on UFO Paranormal Radio Network and United Public Radio Network, 105.3 in Mississippi and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And I already said I'm here with my co-host. And tonight we are following the trail of time travel and the Mandela effect. Are you ready for it?
I am ready. I am ready. How was your week?
It was good. It went by quick. Don't you find, you know how I measure my days? Because we both do two shows. I do the Angel Rock Monday nights. You have your incredible show coming up tomorrow night that you got to tell people about. But I almost measure my week by shows.
Yeah.
Like Monday, okay, then there's Thursday, and before I know it, I'm at the weekend. How about you?
Yeah. This week went by really fast. And then I had my oldest and my youngest are traveling out of the country. So in between all of that, just supporting kiddos that are going out of the country. So, this segment came up so fast. I forgot I hadn't even made a reel or posted it yesterday. It was like, is it today? I was like, not even getting my days straight.
I couldn't find your reel. I think I accidentally deleted it, and I'm running around this afternoon posting reels. But like I've said, and so you guys know watching, we're going to say hi all to you in just a minute.
Yeah.
When I booked the Angel Rock to produce it on Mondays, I also now do the Thursday show. So it's in your event section on Facebook, and it comes up all over the places, I believe, where we're showing tonight.
Yeah.
I do have to share something. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, share about my guest tomorrow night?
Yes.
So tomorrow night on Spirit Switchboard at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I have Beverly Rhodes. She is a expert remote viewer and psychic, and her story is incredible. What her intention and how she uses her remote viewing is incredible, passionate,
accurate.
Yeah.
Really accurate
and
too.
Accurate. Yeah.
Because a lot of the alphabet soup organizations globally have worked with her, which is rare.
I found her through you. You posted a link when she was on Sean Atwood's show talking about connecting with alien guides through crystals. So tapping in and then taking those images. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I went down the rabbit hole of Beverly Rhodes. And I was not expecting her to email back and say that she wanted to come on. And she emailed back really quickly and has been lovely, just lovely. So from South Africa, UK. South Africa just started in the UK, so I'm really excited about having her on tomorrow night. A little nervous.
Sorry, go ahead. I have a bit of a delay, so please forgive me. Go ahead.
Just a little nervous too.
I told you I haven't met her, but you don't have to be nervous. I said, knowing her, and she's ethical as we are, we wouldn't check into people's energy. That's like always say breaking into someone's door.
But she knew that my nerves were like racked up to here. She was probably she probably felt that chicken with its head cut off vibe, because she was on my to-do list of things I needed to do this week and to email at the beginning of the week. And she emailed me before I emailed her. She's like, here, just to make it easy.
Heidi says, I enjoy Beverly Rhodes.
That's awesome.
She has a show on Sean Atwood's channel now.
Awaken?
He's over in the UK. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. I'm tuning in. I cannot wait. I'm super excited.
Yeah, so I'm very excited.
I was going to tell you something weird. I sent it to you already today. I was not looking for this. I've already sent it to Julie Jean Bassett too. So I'm just scrolling, and this guy comes up with this beautiful gray cat, and he says, cat language lesson, I think it was number 1 or 2. And he made this or something like that. Yeah. And he said it means come here in cat language. So I thought, what the heck? And normally my cat won't come around my dog. I have a German Shepherd because she thinks it's playtime and she'll chase the cat. Yeah. I filmed it and I tried it.
Right.
or at the end of it because the cat came.
It kind of sounds like a whammy bar.
Yeah.
Like on a guitar.
Yeah, that's how it sounded. You're right. But she came. I could not believe it. And she's the one that you guys usually see on the show. She's a little monkey. She just does whatever she wants. And she was like, oh my goodness, I actually heard that. Yes, I will come over. I thought it was so funny.
It's pretty fun. I'm going to forward it to my daughter so her and her boyfriend can try with the cats. I'm sure Arkham and Eartha May will do it.
My son Logan, I sent it to him and his fiance, and my son wrote back because he has Charlie that was named after Black Panther. She was born on the day Black Panther came out, and she looked like a Black Panther with, you could see in the light, almost black spots. She's completely changed colors, but for 3 years I got all the sexes of all the kitten litters we've had except her wrong. Never went into heat, nothing till she was almost 3. She is indeed a girl. We thought she was a boy. So she's Charlie now. And my son said to me, yeah, it didn't work on Charlie. And I said, well, maybe she's broken.
Independence.
So he obviously tried it.
So should we say some highs? Say
yes, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll highlight you.
I'll highlight you. Highlighting or do you?
I'll highlight you. Say hi.
Hello, Contessa Martins. Thank you for being here. Oh, Jeff Kirby. Hello. How are you doing? Hi, Victoria. So, folks, Victoria Cheeseman of Astrolight Paranormal was on the show last week. If you missed it, you can head to uprntalkradio.com for all of the archives or any of the social medias where UPRN is streaming from, where you listen to your podcast, and you can catch that segment. She played, we tried. Lorilei also helped to play 3, but we only got 2. And there's some weirdness in there. Our friend Z Sun Dragon sent us a little clip at the 17-minute mark, 17-minute 54 seconds, somewhere in there, where there's something extra, whether it was an EVP, something weird happened in there.
Like
so you guys can take a listen and send us a comment and let us know what you think. It sounds like, it sounds mechanical, something, but it's a voice.
I enjoyed Victoria on your show, and it came up Astrolight Paranormal. I'm really excited for the show, and I went, yay! But I know you by Victoria, so I'm so glad you're here.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Heidi. Thank you for sharing us out. You're always such a great supporter of the network.
Yes, thank you. Got Julie Jean Bassett. I do want to give her a quick shout out because she has a brand new website she shared with me, you guys.
Brilliant.
I have gone on and on about Julie with how incredible she is as an animal communicator. I have taken her course. She has helped with my animals, and she can help Earthside with the animals, cross the Rainbow Bridge, and she really is amazing. On top of that, she's an incredible shamanic practitioner. She just messaged me today, and she said, it's official. I launched my new website, so it is.
Yay!
Yay! That's what I said. Yay! It's www.whitetailshamanichealing, all one word.com. You can also find her, I know, on Facebook on Julie Jean Bassett too. So you guys,
much success.
Yes, I know she's going to do great. I'm happy for her.
Hello, Michelle Wilfong. Thank you for being here.
Oh, here we go. We know who this is.
This is Joni. We love you so much. So Joni is with the Rift Nation Network, Astrology Meets True Crime. She does have a fabulous Facebook group, Astrology The Series. Tips, tools. Joni makes herself so available. I don't know how she does all the work that she does. The podcast is brilliant. It is Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please give her a like and follow and subscribe and show her lots of love because she's brilliant.
She is. I've heard you talk about her. I know she's been on your show quite a few times, and she's amazing. And Kerrilynn actually sent me the link. I was free. I went, holy cow! I got a new show to watch on Wednesday nights. Absolutely spoke behind the scenes with her today. She is lovely, you guys. You got to check out her show. I was like glued, like typing.
Yeah, the intention, Joni's intention for why she does the work, and she's so passionate in supporting the family survivors, victims, and getting their stories out and showing and educating people and reassuring people that things will get better, especially us Canadians. Things will get better. So she has been on Spirit Switchboard a number of times, and word on the street is she's going to be on the Angel Rock as well too. So just keep an eye open for that. And
we talked.
Joni.
I told her we would.
We love Joni.
Yes. So.
Hi, Denise Smits. Denise Smits is also a Joni fan. I think everybody here is a Joni fan.
Oh, so we got to read this comment too from Heidi.
Let's do the time warp. Heidi Goal is just sharing. Just watched Ethereal Encounters Unveiled with Carol Ann. We just chit-chatted about timelines and the Mandela effects. That's what we're going to deep dive into tonight. And there's so much. We could do a whole month of shows just on timelines, time travel, and the Mandela effect.
I haven't even answered Carol Ann back yet. She's the show before us, and she was just on the Angel Rock. I'm going to be on her show July the 10th, and we're getting into conspiracy. I understand. I can't wait.
I forget the date. I was on, but it's fun being like supporting the other UPRN hosts, right? Mm-hmm. Hello, Cindy Waghorn. Thank you for being here.
Got Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. Yeah.
Martinello. Hello, Lisa. So we didn't say the last name.
Right.
Okay, we got In My Opinion.
In My Opinion. I love that. Hello. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Hello, Kurt.
Hi, Kurt. He says
we have had very busy days today, but we are happy to be here. It's the fun at the end of the day.
Happy May 1st.
Yeah. Is it White Rabbit? Are you supposed to say White Rabbit?
Is it?
Is it Beltane today too?
Is it? See, I didn't even know that. I just know May the 4th be with you.
Hello, Michelle Balmer. Thank you for being here. Hello.
Let's see if hopefully I didn't miss. Oh, we got Melissa here too.
Oh, Melissa McLennan. Hello.
We got Joanne.
Joanne Vetter. Hello. It's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Vanessa Burwell. Thank you. Kathy Hanley Little. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Rhonda Harris. We all love Rhonda Harris as well. So the Orion Effect, Sunday evenings with the Rift Nation Network at 7 p.m. and the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe. If I mucked up the time on Tuesday, please let me know. Oh, hello, Jody Shot Ramirez. So it's good to see you. And I did get your email, Jody, and I will respond. It's just been a bit of a crazy week. So thanks for being patient with me. Hello, Julie Dow. Thank you for being here. We are having thunderstorms all afternoon. It's not thundering anymore, but we've had pretty rainy, icky weather.
Tornado.
Almost we had something like that. Mm-hmm. They're not saying it is, but it sure, the destruction, sure. And it was in a row and a line, the way that it went through. It was pretty crazy, the weather that happened here in Guelph.
I know you said hi to Vanessa, so I highlighted her. Did I miss somebody? Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby's 100. There we go.
Kirby's
Sorry.
100. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
I think we got everybody. Kathy says, yes, it is Beltane. Oh, so did Heidi. Everybody's saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connie's asking if it's raining. She said it's raining here. Do you have rain where you are?
Yes. Yes, we do. But the power didn't go out, so that's good.
No, but you had some crazy weather, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So where
And
did
we
we
have
decide?
huge trees around us, so I'm glad that we didn't have any. Not last summer, a few summers ago, we had that same sort of crazy weather, and it uprooted the neighbor's tree, and it was huge tree right up and over into the parking lot of the apartment buildings behind them. It was crazy.
It overturned a U-Haul you sent me.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it overturned a
oh.
U-Haul here in Guelph. The weather for sure.
Mm.
Big trees, transformers down.
So where are we going to start? We have so much stuff for you guys. Like
Let's
Kerrilynn was.
start. So we're going to start with time travel. Let's start with time travel today. And I was like, Interstellar, Back to the Future. So those were like Back to the Future was the movie that I grew up with. So that's where I always go. Doctor Who, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. Those are the things that I think of. Hi, Tammy Johnings. It's nice to see you here. So always interested in time travel, the concept of it. Is it possible theories? And then when you watch some of the videos that you have found, it's like, oh, wow. Let's deep dive. Is it real? Is it not real? Is it possible? And we found all kinds of fun facts and videos. So let's play a couple of videos for folks, and then let's deep dive into some thoughts about it.
I decided I'm doing it the old way because it did
Thank
not
you.
behave the last time. I got to go up just a bit. You know what you got me for, though, that I didn't even think of, and it's my favorite movie. Mind you, Kathy Henley Little with The Bishop's Wife has got me a new Christmas movie now that I love, but it's A Wonderful Life or The Terminator.
And The Terminator, yeah.
Okay,
It's
oh, there we go.
Did you hear the sirens just go by?
I did. Okay, that's Mandela effect. Hang on, time travel. Here's one. We'll do it.
Thank you, Catherine Johnson, for sharing us out. We
Oh,
appreciate
wait.
that.
I can't show that one yet because that's Augie Nost chronovisor that is part of the time travel too. So give me a second here, guys. I apologize, but I have so many videos for you guys to see here. So never mind. You know what we never talked about, but I'm going to mention it because it's too long to play. I sent you that 911 call from a woman by the name of Kathy. You can find it. It's about almost a 10-minute video. It was originally sent into a channel by Apex TV. I just saw it because I have it on my list. And did you get a chance to listen to it? I didn't think so because there was so much stuff. No, don't feel sorry because I don't even know if it's real for sure. But back in the day, like we're talking probably about 8-9 years ago, and it happened before this woman, a 911 operator, contacted a channel by the name of Apex TV on YouTube. Now that guy has so many time travelers on them. Most of them, I'm going to say in my humble opinion, probably are not real. But this was compelling because it was a 911 call Kathy made because she thought someone broke into her house. Her husband had died 12 years earlier. Just her and her cat lived together. And they were waiting for the police to come. So the 911 operator was on with her because what had happened, she had been watching TV in her living room and she heard a crash and she ran upstairs and locked herself in a bedroom. Long story short, he's trying to keep her occupied, and the 911 operator, and he says, do you have any pets? She says, yeah, I have a cat. I think it's Marvin. She goes, his name's Marvin. I don't know where Marvin is. I have to find Marvin. I have to find him. And he's going, Kathy, please just stay in your room. Well, does Kathy listen? No. So she starts creeping around the house. Sounds like it's a big house.
Like a child doesn't listen.
And the guy's going, Kathy, stop. And it does sound like a real 911 call. Anyways, long story short, she says, I think there's no one here. I can't hear anything. And she starts walking, and then you hear her step on glass, and she screams because she cuts her feet as she's walking into the bathroom. All of a sudden, she starts breathing really heavy, and she goes, oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm telling this story. And he's going, Kathy, what? She goes, my bathroom mirror is all smashed. There's like a big hole in it. Then you can literally almost picture this. It's almost like her head turns. She looks to the tub and she almost faints. Like she is beyond shocked. And he's going, what are you seeing? She goes, there's a man in my tub. And he goes, Kathy, get back up to your room. And she's going, no, it's my husband. And he goes, what? Kathy, didn't you just tell me 5 minutes ago your husband died 12 years ago? I know, but I know it's my husband. It's like when I met him, when we started dating years ago. And I know it's him because he has a tattoo on his arm. And it goes right up to when the cops arrive and it ends. You don't know what happens to him or anything. I searched high and low because I have heard the follow-up interview between Kathy, who's now in her 50s, and this version of her husband, who is now probably in his late 20s. I don't know if he came from a different timeline. She didn't even know that he had worked for the government. It is quite a compelling story. Now, of course, the person I live with is the epitome of a skeptic. Well, why didn't we hear the radio going off with the police arriving? I said, this guy was trying to remain anonymous. He still works there. Maybe they scrubbed it out. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. Crazy story.
So I always run with, we just don't know everything.
Exactly.
So everything is possible. Everything is possible.
That's where I put this story, because until I talked to them myself, and I got a lot of questions, as I'm sure you do. And again, is it possible?
I would just have so many,
too. Go ahead.
Heaven didn't want him, or hell didn't want him and sent him back. Was it unfinished? Is it a portal? Was he really dead? Maybe he needed a bell on his grave so that he could ring it and say he wasn't actually gone.
I'm loading the videos we're talking. Sorry.
Well, the Apes
sounded. Well, so I'm sorry. In the follow-up interview, and this was about 6 months later, I looked high and low. I spent hours because I know I heard it. And it was about an hour long. These two didn't really like each other either. I mean, there was such an age difference. They didn't know each other. It was literally like he had come from a different timeline or something. But apparently you find out, and she had no idea. He worked like deep undercover with Department of the U.S. Military, like in this type of arena. Right. He explains that he was sent on a mission. He goes through the whole thing about how this happened, but he doesn't know how he got sent back. Again, is it possible? It was a good story nonetheless, whether it's real or not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Whenever I do healing work or energy work, energetic cord cutting, I include alternate dimensions, alternate realities, wherever it needs to go, just so that I know that it's all clear. Like, I just add in all that stuff, even if I'm not all sure.
Why does it do it? Sometimes it pulls it up, sometimes it doesn't. I'm sorry, I was just loading it up. Now, I sent this video. We got questions about this guy, but he is going viral on TikTok. I have 2 videos of his. So everything we're going to share with you guys is just for discussion. We're not saying it's real or not.
Yeah, and we're not necessarily promoting this person, not saying that we believe. This is just like, let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion about it.
Okay, let's play him. I'll see if I can make him up. So it says, proof of time travel. This man is in 1988. And it says, watch till the end. I didn't think it was that compelling.
Hey, do you know what year it is today?
Let's see.
1998. Why? Guys, I'm in 1998. As you can tell behind me, I'm at Pizza Hut in 1998. I'm going to show you what Pizza Hut looks like. This is going to blow your freaking mind. Let me show you something. Guys, how do you deny this? I'm literally here, guys. I mean, the salad bar at Pizza Hut. You haven't seen this since like 2000. Guys, look at these lamps. I mean, I'm literally here, guys. Check it out. Oh my God, look at the old dining experience.
There's one more.
Let me show you something that's going to really, really blow your mind. Check this out. You haven't seen this in a long time. Guys, we even have an old school arcade. Well, it's not old school right now. It's old school to me. One of them's from 96 and the other one's from 94. Let me go ask someone what year it is. 1 second, watch.
I'll just mute it for the music. There's nobody talking. So you came up with a very good question. You said, where are the people? And I agree. And I didn't notice till on the big screen, these little dashes going through the screen. Like, I guess he's trying to make it look old-fashioned. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's my messenger. You guys get to see that. Sorry about that. Hang on.
So Heidi Gold, that's pretty interesting. Heidi's saying my first
So what
job
do you
under
think?
age 15 was Pizza Hut. Kathy Hanley Little is saying that she has saw that video before. I totally believe that there's things that can happen. The story that you shared was
Sorry, I'm putting it up.
all realms, dimensions, and timelines for sure. I agree. Everything is possible. 1986, you worked there. So that fellow also asks people to send in locations for him to go to.
I have one more from him. Him. Okay, so let's see. I'll see if it's on the screen. Sometimes it puts it up right away. Sometimes it says add to the stage. So let's see. Okay.
Burgers and pizza. It's making me hungry.
I'm at McDonald's, guys. How do you deny this proof? This is going to blow your freaking mind. How do you even begin to deny this proof, guys? I'm literally here. This is McDonald's. Look at those beautiful ones. McDonald's, guys. Do not deny. I'm going to show you. Let me show you something else. This is really going to blow your mind. I'm not even going to lie. That guy bought me a cheeseburger. That's where people sit and eat. I mean, guys, how do you deny this proof? McDonald's.
I have questions.
Here in Utah, 1956.
That one I do for sure.
This is some dessert now.
I have questions. Definitely. What about you?
Where's
You
the
said
creepy
you do.
clown McDonald? Yes.
What was that?
Heidi's asking, where's the creepy clown?
Oh, right.
I agree, Contessa. That's my thing too. Like, does he say how he's doing it? There's no video of the before or after, or what kind of energy it takes, or if he does that sort of work. There's something. The second one felt dodgier than the first one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good point, Rhonda.
So Rhonda is sharing, I feel the Pizza Hut one could be legit, but it could be Pizza Hut that never got bought and converted into anything else.
That's what my thoughts were. Like, how do we know that there's not a historic place like the McDonald's and the Pizza Hut, right? But we're not beyond sharing these videos, right? To look at them all and talk about them.
Oh, yeah. And collective conscious force, right? If all of us we could potentially shift our reality. We shift our reality through intention, raising vibration. We can manifest. Like we created cryptid. I don't know. Is Slenderman a cryptid? I don't know. But
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, so if he's asking for somebody to send him a location and everybody is thinking about it, can we create that as well too? Can we manifest those things into reality? Though I would love to be Doctor Strange and just be able to like.
Oh, there was one I wanted to point out. Sorry, I thought was a very good point right ahead of this.
So do you want me to read that one from Kurt? Please. Oh, Tammy Jonnings is saying, wouldn't people in that time wonder about the cell phone? Agreed. Or the way he's dressed.
Highlight Kurt? Do you want me to highlight Kurt too?
Yeah. We had it up. We'll just go to. So Kurt is sharing, I think he's pulling everyone's leg. I would need to see people in the video with him. I feel they're just old, shut down places that haven't been bought by someone else yet or tore down.
Agreed. Hello, Jay.
Hi, Jay. Thank you for helping us out.
Kerrilynn's reading my mind.
Yeah. Do you want to share where else Jay is?
Yeah, so you can find Jay with Jeffrey Pritchett on the Church of Mavis, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays on UPRN. He is also part of, let me get this right, News on the Flip Side with Joe Montaldo on Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and the chat. I believe it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. And the boys have been kind enough to have both of us one Saturday, and I hang out with them every now and then too. There's Michael Angley there, and of course our friend Sean Kelly. Now, I always, you can shout out Sean's show because I always mix up the name of his show. I know
Into
it's
the Night.
Thank you. So easy. Yes. So
Into the Night on Sundays and Tuesdays. Sundays, he has it a little more technical, and on Tuesdays, he likes it lighthearted.
I hung out with Sean. Was it last Sunday already? I think it was last Sunday. We talked about death and dying. And it was a good conversation. He's coming on he's coming on my oldest son's birthday in July, because the network likes us to do this. And we like to do that, have other hosts from shows on our shows, because sometimes a lot of you support the whole network. We love it. But some of you only watch certain shows and you don't know we have other hosts with different shows. So that's how you get to meet them, right? I gotta get rid of that comment. Hang on. Okay. Hang on. I have another one. This is with Dolores Cannon. And the reason why I didn't upload the previous clip, because it was taken from a movie about activating Stonehenge. And I believe that's where she is. And for those, I'm sure most people, if you don't know who Dolores Cannon is, please let us know. She's no longer with us, but she did some very intriguing work way back from the 60s right up to almost her death. It's a hypnosis technique called QHHT, quantum hypnosis. Do you know what the other HT stands for? I don't either. It's okay, but she and her husband at the time went into areas of meditation that they were never allowed to tread into back in the 60s. And as she did, she has received some incredible information utilizing the same subjects. There's a book she's written that she claims she has accessed Nostradamus, and he was able to explain his prophecies in the way he wrote them. She says Jesus Christ. And it's not just one subject, then another. She's using the same subject. But she had a lot of really interesting stuff, even what we're seeing going on in the world today a little bit. But I believe she's at Stonehenge. So give me a sec. Did I miss anything there, Kerrilynn? I don't know if I did or not.
No, I don't think so. Heidi is sharing, I resonate with Dolores Cannon for sure. Jay, we did look up.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not there.
Yeah. Gloca. Yeah,
yes. And you know who I utilize, and you guys have heard my thoughts on AI, and I've always said AI has a place. And so when we get to our did you know facts, I can point it out a little bit more where it came in. And I have Chat GPT, but with our Canadian dollar, it would be like almost $40 Canadian a month to pay for it, right? The free version only gives you a few things. So I literally said, Spirit, have you got any other suggestions? So, not being political or anything. This was helpful, though. I went on X and I used Grok. And he was quite helpful, didn't you? Or they, I guess, didn't you find them sort of helpful, some of the stuff I shared?
With the information that you found, for sure. I found a couple different places, but it all supported the same information, right? Thank you, Denise Smith. Quantum healing hypnosis therapy.
Thank you. Why I liked it, because
that's okay, Denise. We know you're not really yelling at us.
Yes. I liked him because I told him we were doing a podcast this evening and we wanted language that would be digestible for everybody and be able to be understood without getting all quantum physics-y and all this stuff. And he did, or I keep saying they did. And then they would write this little paragraph. Well, you could say this on your podcast, and they really kind of brought it together really cool. Plus, gave a bunch of different sources and links to do your own research. That's why I found it helpful.
Oh, that's interesting, Jay. Jay is sharing there's very little about it anywhere. Agreed. It may have crash landed in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Is that right? I don't know my states. 40 years after it disappeared.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Jay. Thank you. I will pull up the Dolores Cannon because I think she's at Stonehenge, I believe. Please forgive me if I'm incorrect on this, but I think she is. pull up yet, did it? Sorry, guys. Hang on. We're not being well behaved here with the tech tonight. Give me a sec, guys. Here, because I was expecting it to be on this stage and I didn't want to pull it up just yet because it's popping up here for some reason immediately. There we go. And we are right in the middle of conversation. There we go. Okay, hang tight. I think it's on the stage, right? I want to make sure. Okay, good.
Yep.
So many buttons to click here. Okay.
There's a portal right here. And he says whenever they would do the ceremonies, the portal would open
I'll see if I can make it
to another earth. And he said if you watch, sometimes it would be like a black hole would appear in the ground. So that's why I'm wondering where is the center. It was in the exact center of the stones in it. And it would open. And they could travel to other dimensions and travel into the earth too. So this was what it was used for. But this was a place of peace and goodness and love during that time. Well, as the story went along, they had an invasion. And they called it the Norsemen, who came in, and they were killers. They were expert at killing. If they couldn't kill you in one blow, they were not a good warrior.
That was just the start of it, but I thought it was kind of interesting because I believe she was at Stonehenge that she was talking about. And there's been many theories about Stonehenge. Have you heard any of them? Like, I'd never heard about time travel.
I hadn't heard about time travel, but that's interesting that she was seeing it as a portal that opened up. So are the portals created? Are they always there? They had to be activated. Like when I don't know the people she was talking about. I'm sorry, it was a clip, and it followed right after this movie clip, and it just seemed a bit cheesy. So I thought I'm not going to pull that one up. But it was trying to explain concepts in movies with time travel. But it sounded like whoever she was referring to would do this ceremony. Did I hear that right? Like then they would go through the portal? And then they would go through the portal.
Mm-hmm. To different worlds. So kind of time travel. We don't know wherever they traveled to, I guess, what dimension or wherever they went. Got Greg here too. Hi, Greg. Hi, Mark. So
well, thank you for being here.
Let me see.
There's just so many different possibilities. Are they is it aliens doing that as well too? Is it portals? Collective consciousness?
The one I really, if you're okay with it, is to pull. And again, Augie is not the be all to everything. I know I have brought him up twice, or like this is the second time talking about him in our shows. But he has something. I know he's talked on, like Kerrilynn said, you can find our old shows and they are backed up. Many of us back them up on our YouTube, but also anywhere where podcasts or talk radio is carried. But he's been on other podcasts, and there was a documentary he was on about this. He has the chronovisor. Do you want me to show that?
Yeah. Jay is just sharing Stonehenge tracks time, sun, stars, moon, time travel device, but from a certain point of view.
Thank you. Because I knew I'd heard that, and the way the stones are aligned. Then I had seen a video, somebody had said they have been damaged. I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't get the time to really follow down that rabbit hole.
I don't know if it's on a ley line or if that has something to do with it. I know my son was there and he said that energy for him, because he's my woo kid as well too, that there's definitely that energy there as well too. But again, is it the amount of people that go there that also contributes? Not that I'm not saying that it isn't magical, but our energy can also create it because we all put that towards, put that energy out. We project that. Victoria Astrolight Paranormal is sharing, I would love to visit. There's something special about Stonehenge. It's been such an important place in history. Agreed. Contessa, do you know what? I think lucid dreaming for sure can contribute to time travel, or we time travel in lucid dreaming.
I don't have Gaia. I seen this comment. I used to, but it's quite costly to buy a subscription, at least. I think it's just with our Canadian dollar. Because Tammy says, does anyone else have Gaia channel? They have so many programs about portals, aliens, ancient civilizations, quantum physics. We just got it, and I'm addicted. Oh, I agree. I got it once it was years ago on a it was right after Black Friday. And it was just such a great deal. And I forgot about it. And then I looked at my credit card a year later and it was like, what's this $200 plus charge? And it was for Gaia. So.
Contessa's just sharing that she has read that Stonehenge is on a ley line. And Jay's talking about bringing Augie on the show all the time. So
Connie says she has Gaia. And so Heidi says she loves Gaia. Yeah, well, the reason why, like I say, he's really delved into some of these strange things. So I'll just pull up the picture. I have more, but there's just a picture of Augie wearing it. And I'm going to read what was...
I want the hot tub time machine to be real. I want a hot tub time machine.
So do I. Oh my goodness, how much fun would that be?
Mm.
Okay, so this is a picture that I'm going to read. It was... Joshua, he's in the paranormal field. He shared this. It was Joshua P. Warren's post, and I saved this from quite a few years ago. So what's written with it? Augie's time travel device, the chronovisor. And it says, in Augie's words, here is my travel device. It is a mind-matter interface device. It sets up a very high frequency electromagnetic bubble around us. He's wrote bobble, but it's bubble around us with a tremendously high gas output by the electromagnet. Well within this bubble, it allows us to reach into a higher vibration of existence and consciousness. Remember, in the higher vibrational existences, linear time does not exist. We have past, present, and future all assembled in the now. All we have to do is concentrate on a concept within that reality, and it pops out so we can see it and interact with it. The mind of the operator is what makes it work. I did a 2-hour talk in a conference on time travel explaining how it works. I also did a TV documentary with Michio Kaku and Green on time travel for the BBC television. He does have a channel with his co-host, Love Her Too, Nori Love, Broadcast Team Alpha on YouTube, and scroll down and you will find the 2-hour documentary from that conference. I know of no one who has explained it like this before. I am sorry to say I cannot get it to work all the time. That has to do with the mind exercise I must complete and my state of mind at the time. Something to do with lack of coherence with the unified field. I also think I am the only one I know of who has pictorial evidence of time travel, except, he says, for the guy in Sweden. I'm not sure who that might be. I still do interviews on this. And so he said if anybody wants to talk to him about it, he's open to it. And he showed a picture of the actual manual. So this is Augie wearing the actual chronovisor. And then he's got a picture of the device itself that it connects to, if you want me to show it. But it's called the...
Did you have a picture up, Lorilei? Because it just looked like your...
I close it. Didn't even
No,
come up.
it just looked like your messenger. I didn't see the picture.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why it didn't come up.
So I'm just going to read some of these while you're finding it. Jay, it's interesting. I know we all want a hot tub time machine, and we can turn a 50s channel on for sure. Jay, the planet is damaged, as is Mars. The 5th planet and a moon of Uranus, and the ley lines will never function correctly again unless the damage can be repaired. We can't repair it with our current state of technology. But so I know myself and other people who are energy workers who have been working with ley lines and healing and moving and shifting things. So then my question to that also is it this timeline, other timelines, even like, I don't know. I just think that there are people energetically that are working on things.
All right. I'm sorry about that. The reason why I do it this way, and I've explained it to Kerrilynn, if I have tabs open, I will automatically buffer at the quickest that I can in internet. I don't live in the boonies, but this is the way it works for me so that I don't buffer when I'm showing you guys stuff. So this is the manual that I'll try to make it bigger for you guys that actually, I believe, goes with the chronovisor. It's quite old. I know Augie had a video up. I don't know if he still does, showing people how to build their own chronovisor advisor, but he tells you to be very, very careful with it. I know he talked about a few very strange cases, especially one teenager that still hasn't been found was messing around with something like this. Now, he shouldn't have disappeared, especially on the concept that he was explaining that this is done with the mind. So it's written by, I think, it's a time travel catalog. Stephen L. Gibbs gives his address. He's in Clearwater, Nebraska. I doubt that phone number works anymore. It's pretty old. Let me see if I can shift just to the next picture. Let me see. Where am I? Okay, this is the
Hello,
actual.
Lorraine.
Sorry?
Lorraine Elder Ross, hello. So that
Hi.
is the machine.
Well, that's what it connects to. You're going to see Augie with a piece on his head. I apologize, guys. I'm looking as I'm shifting here. So if I cut you off, I don't mean to, hun. So it connects to this device. I think it says rubber.
So that gray piece that's at the top looks like an old telephone cord.
Yeah.
Like those old telephone cords, just for our audio listeners. That's what we're looking at. And the other piece is kind of looks like an SPLM. I haven't seen Miss Heidi.
So there's another, I think this is the same piece. He's got it all together. And then I'm going to show Augie next. He's got the piece on his forehead. So this is what he does with the cord. And you hold this. It looks like a pretty ancient device, doesn't it?
Well, it looks like a copper tube.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So I know he talked about it. I had him on quite a bit because he used to be on my old network and we're good friends. So he had come on and he had talked about that he went 6 months into the future and read a newspaper, obviously with consciousness. But I asked him on the show if it came true. He said some parts of it did, but not all. So he assumed it was a different timeline. And then I know he talked about this. And he didn't even remember. I reminded him. He says he believes he visited himself as an adult with another adult male when he was a child back on the farm, just his mom and him living in Norway because he's from Norway. And it was a fascinating story. He said, I had no clue who these men were, but they were coming to tell me what I would be doing with my life, like telling me, because I guess it was expected he would stay on the farm and take over the farm for his mother, and he didn't. And he said, I ended up doing a lot of the things that they had told me I would be doing. Now, then we got to look at what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Did he do it because it was implanted, or?
This is it. I'm just going to pull this up quick. Hello, Kat Ward, Paranormal Heart podcast, Tuesday evenings. Sorry, Kat, is it at 6, at 7, Paranormal Heart podcast? I'm sorry. Please remind me of the time. We appreciate you popping in and saying hello. So, okay, I have a question. Does anybody, I realize that it's 6 p.m. Eastern, folks, Paranormal Heart podcast. So I understand that. So it's specially made. It's especially made. There's certain functions for each piece and all of that. But do you find it's necessary? Like, do you find are there reports of people just having that experience in other ways, like the salt flotation? Those flotation tubs. So that would be one. I know that when I do the Estes method, I don't do it very long, depending on who I'm with, because I go places. Anything sensory deprivation for me, I go. So yeah.
Well, it's a good idea to always have somebody with you, especially if you know ahead of time. And Seraphine, my previous co-host from a few years ago, she was like that. Like she had to have somebody with her, because one time she actually almost got lost, like because she's gone. Like you're still physically there, your consciousness. Mm-hmm.
I agree, Jay. There's time travel and dimensional travel, but no one ever talks about dimensional time travel. So that's interesting too. Dimensional time travel. And I think all of that's possible. And then where my head gets confused or not able to wrap around is the alternate realities or different dimensional timelines. Because everybody has a different opinion, how do you know what's true or not true? That's why I don't poo-poo anything, because
Me neither. I believe truth
totally
will
possible.
always. Yeah, I always think that truth will reveal itself eventually. Plus, again, exactly what you said. Who am I to doubt somebody's experience? And again, I kind of sit it up on my proverbial back shelf, as I say. It sits there. If something resonates, it sits there, and I just wait and see what happens. And the beautiful thing I believe about, whether you want to call it the universe or something, eventually something ends up showing up in my field to either debunk it, support it, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but
yeah. Kat is just sharing, agree, not many speak about dimensional travel.
I have a thought. Go ahead, sorry.
Victoria is sharing, she shares, or she limits her time with Estes to 10 minutes. But I honestly, a lot of times, depending on what I'm doing, I don't even have to put the headphones on. I'll just put a blindfold on to help me with that. But I would not say I've not time traveled, but dimensional stuff happens. But
I have a thought to share.
Travel.
Oh, sorry. Like I say, I have a delay. You think I lived up in an igloo up in the North Pole, but I don't. But okay, so with dimensional travel, I believe time travel. I believe as human beings that we shift even, I know it's not the same as dimensional time travel, but even timelines. With dimensional, there's so many different dimensions, right? Like you can talk about it. And I think the reason why people don't talk about it, if we believe that we're manifestors, that the law of attraction actually works, which I know I do, that we kind of manifest our own reality. So what's real for someone doesn't necessarily mean that I could have the same experience, unless we agreed, I guess, to go there. And I know sometimes we can run into other people. So I think it's more complicated and less easy to have a conversation. Does that make sense? Maybe that's why people don't talk about it so much.
I don't know. Kat, you had Cynthia Sue Larson, Reality Shifters. You had her on your podcast. I had her on my very first podcast, like, oh my gosh, 16 years ago. Lucid dreaming, creating like the collective consciousness and how we can shift and create. And she's got some pretty cool stories where, you know, people have manifested these large stone structures that were not in a place, but then they shifted it. So
or weather shifting. Weather shifting. I've done that. I know you have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
But then is that time, dimensional time?
Not really.
Yeah, I really liked her when you know
why I brought it up though, because it's just pointing out, and I believe this about human beings, that we've never been taught to recognize how incredibly powerful and gifted each and every one of us is. Right. So that's where I'm going with that. Like if you can shift weather and you can do these other things, look what you just talked about, this incredible guest. I bet you there's so many things we could do as human beings had we been taught from birth that these things were possible.
So then, with time travel, forward and backwards, there's people that say that we can't go certain directions. We can only go one way. We can't go both ways. But then there's other people that say that they have traveled both ways.
The Montauk chair with Chris Laterreur, it was really interesting that he said, no, we never used the chair to go back. It was always forward. And on top of it, he said he saw 3 separate timelines of his life, including how his life ended. And he said each one of them was different.
Well, this is it. And then you get all tripped up. I am somebody who doesn't even really want to know about past life stuff because I just figure I've been all the shite. And shite. I'm sure I've been shite at some point. Male, female, every gender, taller, maybe a bit thinner. I've been all this stuff. So then I'm like, I would trip myself up if I did time travel because then I'd be like hyper fixated on was I good, not good? what would my intention be for doing the time travel? That's and what is the intention of the people who are doing the time travel?
You know where I'd want to go? To the dragons and the fairies, because I believe I lived back then.
But then is that time or dimension? Dimensional
but if time is a man-made, okay, time is a man-made concept, right? And we know that when we venture outside of, say, this 3D planet, that the past, present, and future are all happening at the same time, right? So is it a different dimension, or is it time travel? Right?
Greg, we did read that. So check out Spirit Connect Wednesday night at 9 Central, Supernatural Inc. Network, double Estes method over long distance. I love that kind of stuff.
Ooh,
I will check it out for sure. Julie Krause is sharing Corey Good. Have we heard of Corey Good? I have not. I have not. The 20 and Back program. He has wild stories. Yeah, you have not heard?
I've heard of Corey Good, but I don't think I've heard of the 20 and Back program.
Yes, Jay. Always in motion. The future is difficult to see. Yoda. Thank you, Yoda. Wisdom of Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Victoria says our daughter Maria always tells us the same thing. Mm-hmm. Time is man-made. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But so why do we need time?
Well, I always say, right, and from what Spirit I've received from Spirit, and I always tell people I don't know everything. This is just what I feel I've received, is that there's a lineup of souls wanting to come here, believe it or not, because it is one of the most difficult places to incarnate into. We come into these dense, heavy, fragile bodies. Most of us come in without memory of past lives or experiences or lessons or knowledge or whatever it is, right? So I think we needed to kind of create order for where we are here.
Yeah,
love to hear
Heidi.
Yes.
Heidi, your comment is kind of like where I was going to go as well too. Do we need time in order for things to be real? In order for it to be real, do we need time? Like,
it's a marker.
Do we need time in order for it to be real? So time is a man-made concept, and I believe deep down it isn't real.
Oh, that sounds like fun, Greg. Don't you think, Kerrilynn?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Just
that
feel
would be
free
fun.
to reach
Thank you.
out to us. Yeah, after the show. Thank you. That sounds like lots of fun.
There is an email scrolling along the bottom,
yes.
and then I can forward. Yeah, I can forward. So it's kerrilynnsporch at gmail.com.
We should, you know what?
So Denise is giving the same concept as Julie Krause, 20 and Back remote. Oh, so maybe I'll talk to Beverly Rhodes tomorrow night too about 20 and Back and see if that's part of, because tomorrow night we'll be talking about remote viewing, right?
I forgot
our station ID.
Sorry, I was trying to say Connie reminded us. Sorry, I didn't mean to take a bunch in there. So you want to do it since I did the intro? You always do it. So
sure. If you are just joining us now, thank you so very much for being here. You are listening to Beneath the Hollow Moon. I'm your host, Kerrilynn Shellhorn, and I am here with my co-host. We are co-hosts. We are hosts together, hostesses, however you want to say it, Laura.
Bert and Ernie, you said.
Bert and Ernie earlier. Yeah, Bert and Ernie earlier. You are listening to us on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network and the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans. There are all kinds of new shows coming onto the network. There is one that just started on Sunday that I'm super excited about at 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't whistle at night. Don't whistle at night. Yes. So please, check out our network at uprntalkradio.com and all of their socials to keep updated. There is something for everyone with our network. Tonight,
hello. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
I thought there was a pause. I'm sorry, you guys. So we have a hello on Instagram. I'll throw in when you're finished. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't even remember where I was going to go we're gonna
I was so
we're
excited.
talking about time travel, so we need to go back 10 seconds so I can get my thoughts back. Time travel would be great for us folks in perimenopause who are forgetting shite all the time. We can just keep rolling back to get it back again.
Was Bailey Janley. She says, I love you girls. Well, we love each and every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Don and Darren Yazzie, but they're not related. They're not related, or they are related?
I don't know.
So they're from Navajo Nation in Utah, and they will be talking about their stories, their theories and thoughts and experiences. Very excited.
Not related.
Not related.
We should also bring up Jay's concept after too. I know you're looking at the comments because he was kind enough to bring that up, or did we?
Yes. If time is not man-made, then it is an energy source like light, radiation, radio, etc. And in this instant, time will operate in waves, not linearly or circularly. So Jay also, I was listening to Jay and Joe earlier on a show earlier this week, and Jay just happened to make this comment. I will be super transparent. I was listening to it while I was driving to Dairy Queen.
Hey!
And I heard Jay say the German experiments with time travel, and I was like, I could not get home fast enough to message Jay and just ask him if he could drop that little nugget for us. So we do have this section with Beneath the Hollow Moon where we go, did you know? So we did a little bit of a deep dive with the did you know? Do you want to? So you had given a name, but I didn't find the name, Jay, that you had originally sent to me. I had found Hans Kamler. Hans.
I have a picture. I think even alone.
Yeah, and so the D Gloka, and it was the Vengeance Project, the V Project, V for Vengeance Projects that he was doing, and then he disappeared. But it looked like a big bell. This time travel machine.
That's him.
Yeah, that's who I found as well too. And he disappeared.
Let's see. Can't remember. I had a picture of. Now this is an AI representation. I did see a picture. It looks similar to this, but metallic of supposedly this device. Oh, go ahead, honey.
So I just want to correct myself so that I'm doing this correctly and I'm not messing up. So thank you, Kat, for correcting me. Darren is from New Mexico, Navajo Nation as well, but not related. Thank you.
This was an AI representation of, and it's not near what I saw the picture.
No,
research I did. Mm-hmm.
It was something like ceramic. I thought I had read that it was like ceramic and 3 to 4 inches thick. Yes, that's what I thought too, that Kamler was in the bell, and that was what I understood.
Yeah. And the stuff that we saw, how about you? Because we didn't get a chance to ask each other about this.
No.
But of course, what I've used, it's always said it's fictional. I don't believe it was fictional, personally.
Well, we know that the Germans did all kinds of experiments in metaphysical realm, right? So I feel, and fictional that becomes folklore or urban legend has some glimmer of truth to it somewhere. So
it says here,
and extended out to, is that how, like, it extends out to these wild stories of the leader of that evil group. Did he disappear by using that as well too?
I was just going to add the stuff I saw. It said,
it does mean the bell. I read that as well too.
It said, and it was often described as Wunderwaffe, it almost looks like waffle, and it says in brackets, wonder weapon with fantastical capabilities like anti-gravity, time travel, or advanced propulsion. But Jay was right. It's like it disappeared. Like nobody's been able to find it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. So did it time travel and not know how to get back? Was there, who knows? Yes. Kat, I can private message you a link.
I have a whole bunch of information here, and then we'll still have time. Look how fast this show is going, you guys.
I know, we didn't even talk about so Kat, I agree. We just need to be super careful about the words that we're using, because we will get shut down on different platforms for using that word out loud. So we'll just say the H, that leader H did love twins, that leader. They are saying that there's very limited evidence written about it. So that's where it's suspicious, because Germans were so careful about recording absolutely everything. They kept records of everything, so that there's not as much records of it, makes it suspicious. And that the symbol for that group was supposed to be on the cover of it as well.
I saw a picture of it. It looked like a big bell with the symbol, and it was very old-timey, wimey kind of. I'm taking your words now, and I love that one. Timey,
well,
wimey.
It's Doctor Who, not me.
Yeah. Well, I heard it from you, and it looked indeed not like the one I showed you. I'd actually asked AI, because they asked what picture. Go ahead.
Jay is saying the site where the bell first and only ever operated has been identified and still there in Germany or Austria. I never found that one. So it was, I honestly only watched 2 little video clips about it, and I didn't see that part in the video. So that's interesting that they were identified and still there.
This is what Grok gave me, because I said we were doing a podcast tonight. You could frame Die Glocke as a narrative hook discussing its mythos as a supposed time machine and segueing into whether such a device could cause a Mandela effect-like phenomena. I know we're not quite there yet, but it got into a little bit more about that. I can probably find that picture I saw. Hang on.
More like an acorn. Yeah. But did it work? Did it send somebody somewhere? So while you're looking for it, there are patents. Jay, you probably know more about the patents as well too. So so let's start with, in the US, patents do not require a working model to file a patent. Patent office mostly checks that the idea is novel, not obvious, and described in detail. So there is method of gravity distortion and time displacement. Inventor Gerald D. Smith, filed in 2005. Episode on ancient aliens. Space-time modification device inventor Joseph R. Skipper, filed in 2002. And not saying that any of this stuff has worked. Like, if they had did it, then we'd know more about it. But they filed patents for it. So, and it was interesting to me that all these were between 2002 and 2005. Time machine using relativistic physics. Frank J. Tipler, who's a famous physicist. 2005.
That's kind of what it looked like when I saw, but it was an old time picture. I can't find it now. It was under, believe it or not, Wikipedia, but that's kind of what it looked like. No, Jay says it looked like an acorn. So,
and that there was one device was recovered in Pennsylvania in the 60s.
Cool.
So Greg is saying the same thing, that it was a time machine. I heard it came back like in the 70s. So came back empty or came back with people in it?
I don't know.
Anybody morph into a fly?
Oh, wasn't the movie The Fly had that morphine device? Yeah.
There was a little bit of a delay there. I'm going to have to work better with punching those sort of like comments in.
Never mind, I looked up the Philadelphia experiment. We didn't even talk about the Philadelphia experiment. There's so many things. Like I said to Kerrilynn before the show, we could literally take each one of these shows and come back a year from now and do the same topic. And we have so much research on the show for tonight.
But I think the Germans were successful with a lot of those experiments that they did. Well, close it matching the description of the German. Oh,
the other thing we were going to
do.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so no clue. So there's no. But again, is there how much note taking? What are there pictures of it? Who recovered it? Did it go to the Smithsonian and then in a river and lost with all the other stuff that they don't want you to see? Like, where's it now? Back to the Future flux capacitor. Yeah.
I have another did you know fact in a minute that we came up with because you had come up with movies I hadn't even thought of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can share.
All right. So rather than try and figure this out, apparently, as of today, estimates suggest that there are likely between 650 to 750 movies that feature time travel, from classics like Back to the Future to a new 2025 release like Mickey 17. I'd never heard of that, but I guess it's coming out. So, and again, I did use Grok for this, which I thought was a great way because he actually explains. He says if we estimate 7 new time travel movies per year from 2015 to 2024, and then he goes right back to the beginning of, I just pulled a paragraph. It's quite long. So that's a lot of movies about time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ton of movies. And I think the interest has always been there, right? About time travel. Would you want to go forward or backwards? Would you want to go into the future? Or would you want to go into the past?
I want to go backwards. Like I said, I've had a story corroborated by somebody that wasn't even related to us. I really believe I was back, and I'm going to sound crazy, but hey, we're talking about crazy subjects. I believe I was back in the days of like Merlin and the Fae. I had 2 people actually say this that concurred with this story. And then one night I sat and drew. I don't draw that often anymore. I've drawn a lot of my tattoos and stuff. And I sat there, and in 45 minutes, I drew the most, not in artistic standards, but you could tell what it was. It was this like Pegasus unicorn type being. And it just took shape so quickly. And it was like I knew this being. I knew the name. It was Chloe. I called her. Apparently my name was Maven back then by 2 people that didn't talk to each other, didn't know this story. It's a crazy story. Anyways, Chloe was not my familiar. She was not my pet. It was like we were 2 halves of a whole that worked together during that period.
So is that not more what Jay is talking about with dimensional time travel, not just time travel?
But it's going back if we go back in that time period though, right? If we look at time per se in the way of years back in the days of King Arthur and back in the it's I don't know, I would consider it in the past. I know what you're saying. What I think I tapped into would be dimensional. But you asked me if I wanted to go back, I would want to go back to then. How about you? Forward or back?
Time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to go forward at all. I would go backwards.
Where are you comfortable saying when, or you just don't care? You would just love to go back?
Oh, all of it. I would just keep going back. I love history, period. History, all of it. All of it. Like all of it. Let me go back to dinosaurs. Let me go back to Egypt.
Land of the Lost.
Let me go back. Yeah, I really would. I just love history so much. I would just go back to all of it. 1920s. Yeah.
Ooh, wouldn't that be a fun time?
I would like to go back when spiritualism was taking, though, like, yeah.
I was just thinking that. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
I love Victorian times.
I would go backwards, not forward.
Mm-hmm. How about y'all in the chat? What would you guys choose if you had the choice? Right?
Yeah, Kat is sharing. All this always makes me think of the old Star Trek episode where they find a planet with a machine you can travel to any time. Victoria's saying the past. Kat would go to the past. Mm-hmm. Which is, Lorraine, if you're still here, I know that you are a fan, and I did see your comment about not whistling, which is whistling at night, which I think every culture has their own reasons why they encourage the don't whistle at night, but I mostly think it's to keep us children in line, and it becomes a tale as well too, but it was for the Fae with the Scottish people. Outlander. So Outlander is that timey-wimey kind of show as well too.
Greg says spiritualism and Houdini.
Yes, Houdini is where it is at. Yes. So, Greg, the reason why I started the seances and the way that I run them is from the Witch of Lime Street. That whole public, very public, contentious relationship that Houdini had with Mina Crandon. That's what got me started down the path of Victorian seances and doing them the way that I do.
This is not time travel. Now, I found out about Jeff Belanger from you, Kerrilynn, right when you started on the network. Love him. Met him in person when I met Kerrilynn at we might as well give them a shout out. Lucky Paranormal's putting on the second year of the Paracon here in Thunder Bay, where I live. Yeah, in Thunder Bay. And Kerrilynn's coming back. I'm so excited. But this is what I wanted to pull out. Now, you had Varla on, and Varla's a friend of mine. Jeff put out these magazines called the Shadow Zines.
Shadow Zine.
Yeah. Well, I have 3. So I said, you're right. It is Shadow Zine. You're right. I was pluralizing because I had to get all 3. But Varla, in a way, wrote about not traditional time travel, but didn't the lady that... a book channeled via the Ouija board, the woman who wrote it, and the ghost whose restless spirit longed for a scribe on earth, was Emily Grant Hutchings, that earthly muse, or was this a profound publicity stunt? That's what the third zine is about. But did she find a time travel? Did she reach back in time through the Ouija board? Because supposedly it's called Mark Twain's Ouija mystery, because she claims she channeled
Mark. Kat is just commenting you're also in Ontario. So Kat is also in Ontario.
All 3 of us are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lorraine, you're heading to Scotland on Sunday. So excited. You lucky lady. Wow.
Amazing. Well, she was born there.
I didn't know. I think it's so wonderful. I've always wanted to go there. It looks so beautiful.
I hope that you have a great time.
Mm-hmm. Safe travels. Safe travels.
And we'll watch for the photos.
Yay. Yes. I love Jeff so much. Oh my God. Yes. You ladies have me pumped. Jeff Belanger from I don't know where he lives. Does he live in the East Coast? He's in the U.S.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. He is such a wonderful, wonderful person. And the first night I met him, I ran up to him and I said, we have a mutual friend, because Varla Ventura is good friends with him. And so he says, come here. And he grabs his phone, snaps his shot and sends it to Varla and goes, guess who? He was everything Kerrilynn had mentioned. He's coming on the Angel Rock actually in the summertime too.
Oh, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And he's banters really quickly, very smart, articulate, researches so deeply into all of the different paranormal stories and things that he does. He's well researched. So
what's the opposite of Ontario? Ontario and California? I don't know. Oh, cool, Jackie.
The least liked province out of all of them. Ontario gets least liked province for sure.
She says American East Coast, but Canadian in the way of what's the opposite of Ontario. Or Jay, were you asking, because it is an Indigenous word, were you asking what the opposite is of it? Do you know? Because I don't.
Ontario.
Oh my gosh.
We made that way more complicated than necessary. It was a dad joke coming in.
I love it. You got me, Jay.
So, Greg, you're correct. He has researched for Ghost Adventures since the very beginning. So, and he still does. He does research for the shows.
Yeah. He's just such a sweet guy. He really, really is. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Yes.
Melody.
Because I Canadianized his name.
Remember we talked about that, right? Mélanger in French. That's how it's said. Yeah.
I didn't make it sound super French. I kind of mixed it up a little bit. It was a version of Bélanger for sure.
It's still hard for me not to say.
You just wrote the joke here. You gold star sticker, Jay.
See, my last name is French too. You don't say Potvin, you say Potvin, and that means a jug of wine in English. What a terrible last name.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny.
Oh,
Okay.
Jay, you just wrote that. Good for you. So shall we delve into where do you want to go next as we time travel?
So time travel, is CERN part of time travel too? And to be honest, you guys, you and Jay are going to know a whole lot more about CERN than what
I know stuff about CERN.
Yeah, you both do, way more than I do. But that also, right? People also lump that into when they're talking about time travel, that potential for time travel with CERN as well too, right? Do you want to talk about how that would be
into that? So the theory is one of them. There are countless. I just came up with a ton of them doing some research today.
Mm-hmm.
What they think the theory is CERN was basically trying to say this gently because we're on YouTube, was doing what they do. And supposedly they discovered the God particle back in 2012. And it's a theory that what they were doing with the work that they do, that they caused a shift in the timeline. And that's why we have the Mandela effect. So for anybody who doesn't know why it's called the Mandela effect, because there are those of us, I know I remember, I don't know, do you remember when Nelson Mandela supposedly had passed away?
In 1988 or something like that. It was like late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole world thought he was, but truly believed he was dead.
Yes. And then we had, depending if you believe, was it December 12th or December 21st, 2012? It was I think it was the 12th, wasn't it? December 12th, 2012. There was, people thought back to the days of the Mayan calendar, and supposedly it ended on that date. So everybody was worried that we were no longer going to be here. But around that time as well, CERN was, I don't want to say it wrong. I'm going through my research. Hosan, was it the Hosan Biggs capacity? I don't know what it was. It was their machine that they're using. And they did discover the God particle supposedly. And around that whole time is when things seemed to shift. And the reason why it's now called the Mandela effect is because when we shifted, the first big thing people noticed was Nelson Mandela was still alive. He then was released from prison and became, I want to say president, it's not prime minister, president of South Africa. So how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So,
Jay, of course, Jay, you know everything.
Particle, yes, and allegedly opened a black hole too. 12/21/2012.
One thing I will tell you all, if you want some high times in the way of watching the weirdest thing you have ever watched, look up the opening of the CERN tunnel on YouTube.
I've never seen it.
Oh my Lord. Absolute weird, high strangeness, no paranormal involved. These are real people playing this out. When you see this, any person I've shown it, I've told about it that hasn't seen it has said, now I'm really building it up. You'd probably look at it and go, wow. But like, you cannot believe, what does this have to do with the opening of a tunnel?
So portals, dimensional stuff, Mandela effect, all of that stuff, all is intermingled, right? Like we really couldn't look at time travel without looking at the Mandela effect. We couldn't look at them separate because it all, and then when we talk about time travel and the Mandela effect, then we have to talk about dimensional stuff as well too, right? So
Yes.
dimensional, it's all makes my head explode.
So I was
And we
glad
haven't even talked about The Simpsons yet.
I'm getting there. I have.
Because The Simpsons.
Oh, hang on. I got to just check something out. Hang up just one sec. If you want to talk about The Simpsons for just a second. I think I can read this after. Sorry, I apologize. I'll tell you after about it. Not important. It's nothing to be addressed right now. Anyways, I looked up the movies and I wanted Mandela effects that were lesser known. Let's segue into The Simpsons. You're right, because I think The Simpsons are an important part of this. Yeah. Because
I think we need to talk about The Simpsons.
I think I have a video with The Simpsons too. I don't know. But have you all heard that with The Simpsons, that people are constantly saying, are the Simpsons psychic? How do they always know to put the future into their shows and things that they show in the cartoon come true? Sorry, I'm in the video, so please go ahead, Kerrilynn. I'm not watching it the sec, so go ahead.
Yeah. So Simpsons. Anybody a Simpsons fan? I wouldn't say that I was a fan, but watched it. You can't get around it because it's been part of pop culture for like how long? 30 years? I don't know. Close to over 30, 25? I don't know. Simpsons around for a long time. But that they play those segments and then it plays out later. So consistently, we're always seeing, if you want to know what's coming up, then we watch The Simpsons. Wasn't like is the clip that you were going to send also has that the round circle with the stuff coming out of it that we later end up the image of it, we see a Corona bottle and then we see the shape of this round circle with the things coming out. That's the clip.
I'll have to go through quickly because it said how the Simpsons predict the future. Now, this is just one theory. I can't remember this. I got this video in a while. I was talking about 2025, things in 2025. But you know what you said to me, which was really interesting that I had never considered.
Oh, that the writer is an alien?
Yes, Matt. Well, I won't say his name, Matt G.
That
I never considered that. Like, how do we not know? And then,
time travel shows do sell. We are obsessed with timed travel and going forwards or backwards or understanding. For sure, they sell. So Jay is sharing time travel shows sell. It's why shows like Star Trek, Doctor Who keep using it as a plot line. Simpsons is still running. Yeah, I get that it is still running, but the stuff that they put on those segments ends up happening later. So is there a psychic on staff? Is there somebody that has information being downloaded to them? Do we get those little bits of information so that it is warming us up to what's about to happen? So it's already kind of in the back of our minds. So we're softening up so we don't get hit with it so hard and don't have big reactions when it does happen. I don't know.
I've got the clip. It's not that long. It's on Facebook.
Soft disclosure.
20. Do you want me to play it?
Yeah.
Give me a sec here. Is it up there already? Sometimes it comes up. Yeah, it's up already. Give me a sec. I'll make it bigger for you guys. Give me a sec. Okay, here. Put the audio on. That would help. Oh, of course. Now my screen's not going to behave tonight. Sorry, guys. So many videos I had ready for you all. Okay, now I can do it.
That's not some lucky guess. That's what they call predictive.
No, it's not going to go big. It went big for me, and now it won't. I'm sorry, guys. It will not go big for me. I tried.
Show it to you before it happens, because they have to. That's part of the deal. It's not just entertainment. It's warning.
It's not that long.
Movies,
cartoons. Back here, you little monkey. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Thanks for your patience. Okay.
Have you wondered why The Simpsons shows something and then out of nowhere it actually happens? That's not some lucky guess. That's what they call predictive programming. See, movies, cartoons, shows, they don't just predict the future. They show it to you before it happens because they have to. That's part of the deal. It's not just entertainment. It's warning, hidden in plain sight. There's this scene in Captain America, right? Times Square. On the screen in the background, a mask, a Corona bottle sign, and that spiky little virus symbol. Before any pandemic was even a thing. What are the odds?
Is that what you were talking about, Kerrilynn? Was that the one you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll finish. It's not that much longer, but this is something to consider. The one thing I want to know, they don't answer they, right? They put it out. I'll just finish it. Hang on, there's not much left. Sorry.
But here's where it gets deep. Why show it at all? Why put the plan out there? Because, according to some beliefs, evil forces are allowed to mess with this world as long as they tell us first. A preacher once said, Jesus told the devil, "You can have this world, do what you want, but you must tell them first." And that's what they've been doing, hiding truth in fake stories, making it look like just fiction. So when it all happens, we don't question it. We just say, that's weird, and move on. But it's not weird, it's planned, it's a rule, and they've been showing us for years. We just didn't want to see it.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Have you wondered why The Simpsons shows...
Yeah, just a theory. So Jay is showing Hollywood
So
is part
that's
of
just a theory, but
sorry.
but they also don't tell us who they are, right? Like, and he said this isn't. So there's many different theories. We never get a concrete answer. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If I did, Kerrilynn, I apologize.
That's okay.
That's okay. We never get an answer. So there's many things to think about as to how do they know? Like, and like you said, it was you, right? I was reading the comments between you and pushing all these buttons. How do we know? Maybe they do have somebody that's psychic or remote views. How do we not know? Maybe we don't know. I mean, right? So it's hard. 3 years prior, it's been, we didn't even get into some other, like we could have talked just about potential time travel all night long. We could have. There's so many examples. I'm just looking for my list here because I was asking them when we get into the Mandela effect, for example.
I don't even think we're going to get there. It's like, it is 1:45. Yeah, we're coming down to the wire. We might have to do. We might have to do it another time.
We'll just save it for another show. We got more shows to plan. We could do a whole show on it if we wanted, actually. You never know. I'm going to check our little list here. And have you heard of Daniel Shaw, also known as the Vortex Detective? I haven't. Have you? Ooh.
Yes, we'll have to do a part 2 for sure. Part 2.
Yeah, because we didn't even get into that concept because you were the one that brought up, like I said, the Terminator and the company. And again, my mind goes blank all of a sudden. You guys will know somebody in the chat. The company supposedly responsible for creating the chip that started it all with the Terminator. Starts with an S. I remember. It'll probably come back to me. I looked this up. There is a company by that name in real life that makes that kind of technology. Now, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Right? I'll find it for you. I'll find the name of it. I'll say name.
Skynet.
Thank you.
I
know there is a company by the name of Skynet out there. Now, did they create the company Skynet because of the movie? Or did the movie write about it because of them? Or I found that. Thank you very much for that.
So Heidi is sharing that. So Kat has had Daniel Shaw on her show, and he's also been on The Outer Realm. Heidi,
which no coincidences, but I'm going to say serendipitously, the second night of The Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche is coming up right after this show. So you guys want to stay tuned. So you brought that up. Okay, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, talking about all of these things, we never come up with something that feels like 100% truth. It just feels like there's more questions upon questions upon questions. And that's kind of how I feel about mediumship and the other side, and the job that I have too. I think we can go down a rabbit hole that just leads to more questions. So it's fun to engage in the conversations and be okay with not knowing what all of the answers are, playing and in the what ifs, without having a rigid viewpoint on what it might be, being open-minded and flexible to the possibilities, right?
You just read my mind. I literally was just thinking that. Even with the Akashic records, my mentor, the way they taught myself to work within the Akashic records is we go in using crystal energy through the heart space, but we go with questions, followed by more questions, followed by more questions. And I was taught that we could work with one, say, of the ascended masters. I'm thinking like Mother Mary or one of the angels or whatever, but instead as a collective, the way I was taught, you sort of get a more well-rounded perspective, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I have questions even about that, though. If we all share universal consciousness, and
Yeah,
it's questions, right?
yeah,
But that's how we get answers. And I think we should
Yeah.
never stop being curious to ask the questions why, and the 5, who, what, where, when, and why.
yeah, agreed. Do you have our listener submission?
Oh, yes, I do. Hang on. Thank gosh. Oh, good thing. No wonder you were saving time. I'm having so much fun talking about this that I'm getting like right into it here. Hang on. Okay, yes, I do. Okay, oh, God, where did it go?
So while you get that ready, if you have got a story that gives you chills, a strange encounter that you can't explain, we want to hear it. Send us your true tales of the weird, the haunted, and the unexplainable. Your story could be the next one we share. Submit your story to Kerrilynn's, KERRILYNNS porch, kerrilynnsporch at gmail.com. And we would love to hear your story. We have been getting emails with different stories, and Laura Lee is just going to pull up.
I am scrolling. I'm sorry, you guys. I did print it out as a suggestion, but I ran out of ink, and it'll just take me a minute. I do have it. I know I do. It's from, here we go, Heidi Gall sent this very intriguing story. So give me one sec, guys, and I apologize because I did have it ready. Unless you've got it handy on you. I'm scrolling, and I apologize about this.
That's okay.
Imagine my shock when I looked at my print and went, where the heck is that? Hang on, I'll see if I can find it this way. Heidi. Search.
I can call it up
if you. I got it. Okay, so this is from, why did you not give me, you go ahead. It didn't give me the right one. It should have.
Oh, hang on.
I don't know why it's not giving me Heidi's, and I know you sent it to me in the write-up and everything.
It's okay. I just have to load it up from the emails because I didn't print it off.
I'm sorry.
We're good. We are good.
It's not showing up on here, and it should be in here. I don't know why I thought it was in our...
Hang on a second, folks.
Sorry, guys. Please.
Y'all can start singing or humming the Jeopardy theme song.
You don't want to hear me sing, guys, believe me. Let me see if I can find it this way, because I know you sent it to me.
It's okay. I got it.
You found it?
Oh, not yet. Sorry, it's just taking a bit. Everything with all the windows and stuff opening, it just takes a while.
Yeah, it's bringing me to a story last week. I don't know why. I found it. Found it. You want me to read it, or you got it?
I don't have it yet.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so this is from Heidi.
I'll close my windows.
Okay, it's okay. I got it. It finally went there. Finally. Okay, this is from Heidi Gall, who's in our audience tonight. As I grew up, I realized that I had many memories of my childhood as far back as at the age of 3, some even at around 2 years of age. Here's one of my odd experiences. Birthday party at Forest Park, Everett, Washington, early 1970s. I have always had a very vivid memory of when I was about 3 or 4 getting invited and going to a birthday party at Forest Park. I remember I was in this quote unquote fancy frilly birthday dress with little white socks with the lace around the top and was playing with all the kids at the main park area. There were tables set with balloons, presents, and cake. I remember staring at the big fluffy clouds, all very detailed and in color. I remember an older, and again quotations, grandpa coming over to the dome play jungle gym to another girl and myself. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know we walked away with him. I remember looking back at the playground and all the, sorry, now it's moving on me, all the green, come back here, green. And normally we would have this printed, so I apologize. All the green grass meeting up to the thick pine tree line. Then, and in brackets, this part gets weird and has never made sense. I looked forward and we're walking along a field to our left, again in brackets that has some green in it, but mostly what now I believe is wheat or something. It was more of a yellow beige color. And then turn into that field on a dirt path. We end up at an opening in the ground and go inside where the other little girl and I sit down on these wooden stools. I look around and the vibe in there was very warm, excuse me, cozy and comforting. There were candles lit and handmade looking wood furniture, a big bookcase filled with books, throw blankets just like a warm book reading nook you see in advertisements. I remember sitting sitting on the wooden stool and the three of us reading books. The man did get up a few times. I remember him getting me and the other little girl a cup of something warm to drink. I don't recall how long we were there, but it had been way longer than the birthday party should have lasted. So eventually we all got up and left, and in brackets, nothing felt panicky. We walked the same way we came, and when we got through that field and took a right to the park, I remember whom I think was my dad's mom running towards us, yelling something about finding us. Sorry, it moved again on me. Just give me a sec. Okay, there we are. I don't remember the old man there when my grandma, if that is who it was, found us, and from there the details get vague. But I do remember the tension, panic, and relief of finding us safe was intense. I have had that memory as long as I can remember, and the similarities to the underground quote unquote bunker to that one of the one in the movie The Lovely Bones, if you've seen it, gives me goosebumps. My memories that are so vivid in color and detailed. I never questioned that experience until after my NDE in my late 30s. I got to thinking and questioning, why hasn't anyone in my family ever spoken of this? Maybe they just don't want to, I thought. Then the fact of the fancy birthday party dress. Never do I remember seeing one or seeing one besides that experience. And why don't I remember my sister, the only sibling I have, and when we were really young, we were always together everywhere. I don't remember any details of her in this experience, but I absolutely remember the dress, the car ride, driving there, the park, the path, the small details in it, the vibe, the colors, and the smells. I think it's very odd. I never questioned it. My mom would have been very open to discuss, but she passed before I realized how strange this is. And she ended her letter with, "Love you both, ladies. Grateful for you both." And we are too for you sharing this story. Thank you.
That's wild.
I said it sounded like she went to Narnia. I remember when I read it, I said, "Oh my gosh, she sounds like..." I told Heidi this already myself. Sounds like she went to Narnia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We would all love a Narnia closet, a Narnia wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, that was amazing. We're almost out of time. How did it go by so quick?
Hello, Michael Angley. Thank you for being here.
Hello, Michael Angley.
Is Michael's show on Saturday night?
Yes, the Michael Angley.
I know that you're also with Joe on Friday and Saturday, correct? And then you have your own show?
Yeah, so he's on Fridays with the boys and Joe on News on the Flip Side. Then he's on the chat 7:30 on Saturdays that we talked about before with the boys. And then he has his own show directly after that called Michael Angley. So thanks for popping in, Michael. We love Michael. So hang on. Hang on. Let's see. Where are we going here? Everybody's going. They love the show. I know it went by way too fast. Wait till you see what else we got in store, guys. This is just the
So
beginning.
we did not hit the Mandela effect, so we could do a whole show with that. So we will do a part 2. We do have scheduled next week. We're going to be talking about ghostly hitchhikers, people that have picked up hitchhikers that disappear at before drop off, and we're disappearing backpackers, people that go into those provincial parks, state parks, and go missing. So we're going to talk about disappearing hitchhikers, backpackers.
Thank you. Everybody's saying way too quick. Rhonda didn't want to refill her tea because she didn't want to miss anything.
Thanks for supporting us and hanging out with us tonight. So do you want to do our close?
Sure. Let me I did do I got more ink, you guys. It's coming tomorrow. I could not believe the black color's full, black ink's almost gone. So, like Heidi, now I got Heidi in the brain. Like Kerrilynn said, vanishing hitchhikers, backpackers, and campers. We're going to talk about ghostly ones. I like how she said that. So you guys can find Kerrilynn also tomorrow night. Don't forget Beverly Road, 6 p.m. Spirit Switchboard with Kerrilynn Show. You can find me on Mondays with the Angel Rock, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both of us on UPRN. And if you ever want to reach out to the network, we have social media pages also on Facebook. I can go to www.uprntalkradio.com even. We want to thank all of you in the chat. And I know 80% of our global audience is audio only. So even though we don't get to chat with you, thank you for listening live. I want to also thank Joe Montaldo for providing this wonderful space for the numerous hosts that are on this network. And we love Joe, as well as our beloved Michelle DeRoche, who has Beyond the Outer Realm. I believe it's Tuesdays, right, Kerrilynn? And then is it Tuesday? Okay. And then she's the Outer Realm on Wednesday, the first night, and the second night tonight, right up after us. And thank you for joining us beneath the hollow moon. And until next week, step back into the shadows, and whatever you do, don't follow the whispers.
Good night.
Thanks. We love ya. We'll see you next week.